Welcome guys, welcome back to the vlog today. So in a previous video, if you have been following, you remember that I went plant shopping to pick up a few plants. And by the way, if you're new, welcome to this channel, and if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. So on this channel, we're all about growing your own food, balcony gardening, small space gardening. So in this video, as I promised, I'll show you guys how I reported all the plants I got from the nursery, how I put them into new pots or new containers to keep on my balcony garden. So if you're interested in seeing it, keep watching. So I got these 3 plants from the nursery on that day. This one is sage. During the course of the video, I'll also be telling you what you can use the sage plant for. I got sage, and then next to it, as you can see, I got rosemary, which is my favorite of all. The aroma is heavenly. Got my rosemary plant. Then another plant I got for the aroma is my lemongrass. I've been wanting to have this lemongrass for a long time, so at last I have it, and I hope it does well on my balcony. I'll just go ahead and show you guys how I report all these plants to place on my balcony. As you can see, this plastic container by the side is what I'll be using to report my plants. Nothing fancy, nothing expensive. So first up is the rosemary, and first of all I'm going to trim it. At the same time, I'm going to collect cuttings. In case you did not know, you can grow rosemary plants from cuttings, so I will show you how to do that shortly. So now I'm doing a 2-in-1. I'm taking cuttings and at the same time I'm trimming my rosemary. That's one thing you always want to do when you are reporting your rosemary plant. You trim it down to encourage more bushiness and more vigorous growth. So I'm taking cuttings and I'm trimming. So instead of throwing away the trimmings, I'll put it in a glass of water and place at a sunny window for it to develop roots. Then I'll plant it as a brand new rosemary. So I think I'm okay with this size. So this is the one of the cuttings, right? You just go ahead and remove the lower leaves. And you remove it in such a way that you don't peel off the back. So you can see I've removed the lower leaves and I'm dropping it in that glass of water right there. So you gently peel them off. Pick them off, rather, not peel the back of the stem. So these are the cuttings. I've put them, only the lower part is touching the water, right? So I'll just go up and place it as a sunny window. After a few weeks, it should have sprouted roots, which I will now plant in soil. So next, I'll go ahead and remove the plastic bag that my rosemary came in, being careful not to damage the roots. Then I'm going to go ahead and put it inside the pots. I'll add a little bit of soil together with the soil that it came in. Then a little bit of the chicken poo manure that I have. to encourage it or to provide nutrients for it. So now I'm adding soil to hold it in place. Gently add soil all around it to hold it in place. And guys, don't forget your containers, be sure that the bottoms are perforated so that there will be drainage, so that the roots of your plants don't rot. So all these containers you can see here, they all have perforated their bottoms. You don't need any fancy equipment to do that. You can easily put a pointed object, a metal pointed object in the fire when it's hot. Then you just use it to perforate the bottoms of your containers. So I'm adding the soil right up to the top. You can see that rosemary is looking pretty in her new home. And in case you did not know, rosemary is a type of herb. It has many uses. It's very good for seasoning your meat because the flavor and aroma are out of this world. And in cooking various dishes, like if you want to cook stew, you can use your rosemary. Pepper soup, you can use your rosemary. You can use your rosemary to make mashed potatoes. In fact, this is a must when you are making mashed potatoes to use rosemary. Also, in other climes, they use it to make essential oils. I'm sure you have heard of rosemary essential oil before. It's an essential oil. It's also said to be good for the skin and hair. So you can see it has many uses. For me, mostly I use it for cooking because the aroma is very, very good. So next up is the sage. So sage is not really very popular in Nigeria, but then there are some types that you can use for your food to eat. Like this one I have here is Mexican sage. So some people use it as herbs in their herbal medicine and all that. So right now I'm plucking off the lower leaves, put it in a glass of water, place it as a sunny window where it will develop roots like this. And guys, can you see the sage? It has flowers, and I actually like the flowers. I hope mine will grow large enough to produce flowers on my balcony. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get this this cotton to root. I'll do the same thing I did with the rosemary cotton. So I'll just put it inside a glass of water and place it at a sunny window. So when it roots, I'll now put it inside the pot for it to produce a new sage plant. So I'll go right ahead and begin to repot my sage. So you can see I have trimmed the sage plants and at the same time I've taken cottons. So as I said before, you can see the containers I'm using. I didn't buy them. I just asked the people that sell candy and they gave me the empty candy containers. So that's what I'm using to repot my plants. As I always say, you don't have to break the bank to grow your own food or to grow a garden. So I'll just be using these containers to do my repotting. and in the future, as my plants grow bigger and bigger, I can then invest in bigger containers for them. So this is what the root looks like. I'll go ahead and drop it in and fill it up with soil. And guys, you can check out my garden tour, my July garden tour on my channel to see the progress of these plants. You see how they have grown in at least maybe 1 month, in 1 month's time, to see if indeed the environment of my balcony is favorable to them, which will also encourage you to grow things on your balcony. So I think I'm done with this potted. So guys, this is the lemongrass that I got from the nursery. So I'm going to go right ahead now and report it. So if you remember, I asked the nursery guy to chop off the tips for easy transportation. So these are the tips he chopped off, which I'm not going to throw away. I will just go ahead and use it to make tea. So you can see the lemongrass now. So I'll just go right ahead and remove the plastic bag that it came in. And when you're removing it, be careful with your roots so you don't damage the roots of your plants. So as you can see in the background, I'm just using these free plastic containers. Normally these containers they are used for candy. If you go to the shops to buy candy or chewing gum, they come in these containers. So I just went around the shops in my area and asked them for it, and they gave me. So that is what I'm using to repot my plants. As I always say, you don't have to break the bank to grow your own food. So I'll go ahead now and divide the stalks. That's one thing you always want to do when you are planting or replanting lemongrass, because the stalks are always multiple. So you go ahead and divide. So each stalk now will grow into a bunch of stalks. So I think this one has 3 stalks. So I'll go ahead and divide them. In a few weeks time, I'll give you an update on how well the lemongrass is doing. You can see the heights that is at. So I'm dividing the stalks to repot them. I don't want you to enter inside this. See, this is showing you. So this is one of the stalks I got from the lemongrass. As you can see, it looks as if it's about to give up, as if it's about to die or something. So I'll just put it in this glass of water to see if I can be able to resurrect it. I'll just place it as a sunny window and see whether it will regain its health. Then I'll go ahead and plant it in the soil. That's what I'll do with this stalk. So that is it, guys, for this reporting video. See you in the next one. Bye.